Bro, let's go.
So let's go. Yeah, pretty much. How do we link anyway? How do we know each other basically?
From the access course from university, man. No, sorry, college.
College, yeah. So we basically did 1 year access course, right? The Manchester College, and that's how I met Omar. And yeah, 1 year it went really fast, man. Not gonna lie.
Do you know, I don't even think it was like 1 year that like we were actually together. I think it was like
Couple of
6
months,
months,
really.
but like, hmm?
Yeah, yeah. It was 6 months,
But,
wasn't it? Roughly
but
six.
like that 6 months just felt like a year with like all that work and
Roughly.
stuff, and just like the way the year went.
We didn't even get to finish the year off because COVID happened. I think we broke up in March, and then we
Yeah,
went like home learning, so online learning from there on.
I don't. Do you know what? I don't even think we had any lessons or anything. They were just like literally, sending out assignments and saying just do it. And like,
Man, I swear we had lessons, man. I swear we had lessons for a short time.
I might have missed some, but
But yeah,
I remember she was like, "Oh, could you just finish off these assessments?"
yeah.
And Claire was like, "You remember for the
No,
physiology,
it was
psychology,
psychology.
sorry,
That's it.
psychology
Yeah,
presentation,
it
and we
was
had to do
impressive
it online."
because I think at one point they decided, you know what, you don't have to do the assignments anymore because the government decided, you know what, because of COVID, we can't have you doing exams.
Yeah,
And for us, it was assignments, obviously. So they scrapped the assignment, said, you know what, we're just going to go off teacher assessment. So that was probably a blessing, because I don't know, some of the assignments were quite hard, especially physics.
yeah. I mean, I agree with what you're saying that we didn't have to do them because the grades were already like kind of set. They already had it kind of set in their mind what they were going to
Yeah,
give us. So I didn't see any point of like stressing about doing an extra assignment when she's already like gave you a base.
yeah, for sure. I think they already knew what we were capable of, and I think, yeah, pretty much, they don't really need to see any more from us, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, 6 months in, so and
yeah,
I think we only had like a few assignments left.
I think we had about 4 or 5. But yeah, I think we pretty much finished the year off. But after that, I didn't talk to you at all. Like COVID happened, it was crazy. How are you finding COVID anyway?
Yeah, I'm finding it all right. I mean, I'm kind of like an introvert anyway, so I kind of enjoy my own company. But the only thing that's like I am like a little bit annoyed about is just like the fact that I'm doing a course which involves physical,
Yeah,
being like
no, I
with
get
other.
that for sure. Because I'm doing physiotherapy myself, and it's really hands on. So to do it online is kind of it's just hard, isn't it? Like especially
Yeah,
the theory, some things are hard to explain, like from obviously from afar. You need someone in person to actually show you how things are going. But that's why I'm quite blessed that I get to go in at least once a week to do some practicals. So I
yeah,
get to go in every week, yeah, to Preston.
yeah.
So it's
That's the
not easy,
same as
man.
me. I go in once a week, but it's like I feel like I would be more knowledgeable about my own subject if I had been going in like once or twice a week,
Yeah,
like if it was before COVID. And I noticed that like the lessons are much more fun in person than online.
yeah, I get that.
Like online, you just like you wake up, you turn the computer on, and it's just like it's not as fun, and hands on.
Yeah, plus that motivation to actually learn is just not there, is it? Like it's not the same,
No.
trust me. And I'm sure a lot of people understand the same. Like everyone's going through this, but it is tough, man.
Yeah, especially someone like me, like I get distracted easily. So if I'm like at home, I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to be more susceptible to being distracted. Whereas if it's like actually in an environment like I actually want to learn and stuff, I don't want to be
yeah.
like messing about. So
Nah, I get that. I get that. Same, pretty much. But yeah, as far as training and stuff, like I know you were into your jiu-jitsu, isn't it?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
right now, I don't think you can do any of that, can you?
No, unfortunately not, because it's like it's very like close hands on. But
Yeah.
I mean, I started the gym like seriously in like
I saw on your stories,
September.
yeah.
Hmm?
I saw on your stories, man. Yeah, you were going to.
Yeah, my diet was on point, man. I was like trying to go 4 or 5 times a week, but then unfortunately COVID hit.
Yeah,
That was like such like another bump in life because like
yeah,
I was actually enjoying the gym. Like I never started it properly before, but
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
kind of started it with like a training plan. I was seeing decent results. I was losing a bit of weight, but then
that's good, man.
you know, obviously covered it.
Well,
And
glad
you're very heavy on the gym, aren't you?
yeah, it's more it's a big part of my life. Um, and my followers can say the same thing. Like it is a massive part of our life, right? And to have it taken away, especially now when a lot of us do need that. Because being locked up in the house, I know you're an introvert. You said that you like your own company, but a lot of people are little bit different. They're quite outgoing. They like to go out more, and the gym is a big part of their life. So to have that taken away is quite damaging, really. And I feel like the government doesn't really take it that seriously. They don't see how important it actually is. What's your take on it, man?
Yeah, I mean, I I noticed that when I used to go to the gym, like I just any stress that I had on my shoulders, it would like kind of like I would go away from my problems and like
Yeah.
reality. So I'd feel like much better after I worked out, But
Mm.
I understand, yeah. And you say that people who are staying at home because of
Yeah, yeah,
COVID, um, let's for a moment forget about outgoing and people who are introverts. What about the people who don't have good relationships with their family? I feel quite sorry for them as that's
yeah.
probably a toll
That's
on
something
them.
quite big, man. Yeah, like a lot of people do try to get out of the house a lot more, just to get escape from that family life, isn't it? Um, and to not have that outlet to have anything like really is quite damaging. Like I said before, yeah, you do feel for them because some people don't have come from like a stable background, and for them, being out of the house is like is their escape really.
There's like nothing to do as well, even if you go out, you
Yeah,
just go on like a jog or something or get something to eat, But
yeah, yeah.
uh well, I'm hoping like things come back to normal, but I don't think it will for a while. I mean, at least a lot.
To be fair, the government says a lot. I don't know, maybe July time. I think everything will be slowly starting to get better.
Mm,
Hoping, man. It's been like what? It's been a whole year since this pandemic thing happened, right? I think a lot of people are
yeah.
sick and tired of it and just want it to be over right now. As far as home training, are you doing anything at home?
Um, the thing is with home training, like I'm quite new to the gym, so I don't know so much about like home exercises and stuff. But
Mm.
I've been trying, but it's just I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same as the gym because there are those people who do calisthenics and they know very well about it. I
Yeah,
barely know nothing, but I try to keep a good diet and I go on the treadmill like
yeah.
and do a couple of calories and I try to do like push-ups, planks, and other things. And yourself?
Yes, for me, I'm quite blessed to be fair. I've got some dumbbells at home. Recently had a bench, well, access to a bench. So, I mean, for me, it's not that bad, but you adapt, isn't it? You kind of adapt and you have to. I mean, there's only so much you can like just sit and do nothing. At one point, you just think, you know what, I need to get active again. I'm losing my muscle, or I'm gaining weight. And you just like, I need to get up and do something. And I think that's really important. Rather than just sitting down watching Netflix, just watching YouTube videos day after day. I mean, you've got nothing else to do. A lot of people don't really have any work, but you've got a lot of free time, and that's what you got to really understand. I've got all this free time. I need to do something with it. So for people who are trying to train at home, you just got to do it however you can, right? Maybe you don't have access to dumbbells, maybe you don't have access to a bench, but just make use of. You can go out, do some outdoor running. But I know right now it's the weather isn't the greatest.
Hmm.
Um, but trust me, you've got all this free time. You might as well do something with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I always like I always go back to like the example, like look at the people in jail, like how muscular they are and how fit they are. Some of
Yeah,
them, because that's all they've got to do, just work out and things like that. If they can do it without no equipment, proper nutrition,
yeah,
things like me and you might take for granted, which they
yeah,
can
good.
do, that I think the normal person can do. And I think I myself need to find like a plan which like works for me, and
Yeah.
it should be all right then. But
No, I get that. I get that.
it takes
Um,
time. Yeah.
I remember you were doing Jiu Jitsu as well before in college as well, and you said you had a competition. What happened with that?
That got cancelled, man.
Ah, it's mad, man.
Yeah,
Like you're actually training and everything for it, so I was excited to see what you were doing.
I did do a small competition before, but this one was like quite a big one. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, because of COVID, like it
yeah,
just like crashed because it was like in the midst of like
mhm,
when it was
yeah.
heated.
Lockdown.
Yeah, when it started.
Did you not go back when lockdown was over?
No, because it's not being open like properly, and
Mhm.
it's not the same. So
Yeah, I get you, man. Like it's like an on and off, isn't it? When when it opens, it's open for like a short while, and then they put us back into lockdown again.
mhm.
It's mad, man. Do you have any plans for the future though, in terms of like jiu-jitsu? Do you want to take it any further?
Oh, yeah, for sure, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Like you said, the gym is like a big part of your life. Jiu-jitsu is probably a big part of my life as
Mhm.
well. It's like one of the hobbies I feel like I'll be able to excel at and be quite
Yeah,
good at. So yeah, 100%. Whenever all this blows over,
yeah.
right back into it 4 or 5 times a week.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man, I can't wait.
What do you think of the fight, Conor and Poirier?
Man, good fight, good fight. A lot of doubters.
Ah,
I
trust me,
think
man.
a
If
lot
you
of
saw
people.
the odds that were against Poirier, man, it's crazy. And then when you wake up in the morning, right? I didn't watch the fight. I had work the next morning, so I didn't stay up. But
Yeah,
when you saw him knocked out, you were thinking like, damn, all these people hating on Poirier, right? Um,
yeah.
and he smashed.
People who don't really watch the sport, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they need to take in consideration that McGregor was not active as much as Poirier was, and I feel like
Mhm.
that's why Poirier was able to outclass him.
For sure, for sure. What do you think is next for Conor though? I don't know what's he gonna do now.
Stay active, fight once or two more times this year,
Mhm.
build your name up again, and then 2022 come back.
Who do you think he's gonna fight? What do you think?
What did you say, sorry?
Who do you think is gonna fight? Do you think?
I think they're gonna throw like a middle name in there,
Do you
and
think?
he'll probably fight them. Yeah, just to build his name up again. Maybe the Diaz
Possibly. I
tri-
think he might have a
like,
trilogy. Yeah, I think that would be amazing. Just in terms of the views, I think what Dana White is going to be like, you know what, that's going to pull majority of the views and maybe get back his like reputation. If he wins that fight, um, he has a
he'll
lot
be
of
right.
opportunities
Yeah, he'll be right back in the line for it.
for sure, for sure. But yeah, man, mad. I also heard about him maybe fighting. What was his name now? Oh, it's lost on me now. But yeah, he's got a lot of opportunities, and I don't know. Maybe he just needs to take more time to just start training again. I think he got a bit cocky going into the fight. I think it's going to humble him a bit now.
Yeah, there was. I've read a saying. It's hard to be serious when you were. No, it said something like, "It's hard to do road work at 5 a.m. when you're waking up in silk pajamas."
Trust me, man. It's why he needs
Yeah.
to get back into that nitty and gritty training, isn't it?
So
Back into that nitty and gritty training.
yeah, I don't think he'll be able to go back to it. I mean, he's set for
Yeah,
life. His kids are set.
pretty much. How old is he now?
31, so he's in his prime, really.
Yeah, yeah.
32, something like that.
But I think he's coming to the end of it now. He's losing what he used to be. Compared
He's
to
not.
where he was then, where he is now, it's just a big change. But yeah, maybe it's time for him to hang up the gloves and call it a day.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens, really.
Aye, trust man. Right, I might as well get into some of these questions, man.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Um, there were a lot of questions about mental health that people bringing up.
Okay.
Um, but I think we touched on it a little bit, but like mental health and how to stay productive. What would you say is the best way to stay productive in lockdown?
See, um, I'd probably say start with fitness.
Mhm.
YouTube is like the biggest platform. I think
Yeah.
if you really want to like learn about fitness and get in
Mhm.
shape, if you want to start that as a hobby, you can go on YouTube and look at some workouts and things to do. That could be one thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just looking for like hobbies and just looking on like YouTube's like new things to do in like quarantine.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, always like put yourself first and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think,
Uh,
yeah, go on.
just like I'd say, just know it's not forever.
Yeah,
Um, it will end, but we just have to be a bit patient and stuff. And I think with all the free time you've got now,
yeah,
you've got time to work on yourself. You can make a YouTube channel. You can pick up new hobbies. I think some people should take lockdown as like a blessing. There are new
yeah, for
things
sure.
that you're able to learn. And
I
your
think
take?
in normal life, right, you don't really get a chance to kind of take a break, take a breather. You know what I mean? You have all this
Mm,
stress from like uni, from work, and just life in general. Like right now, you've got a blessing, like you just said, that we've got so much time on our hands, right? And I think people put a lot of emphasis on being productive, and you have to start a new business, you have to like create a YouTube channel, you have to do this. There's no need for you to do any of that. For some people, simply just relaxing and like having that, right, I can relax now, just chill moment. I think a lot of people just need to relax and not take, because you basically on Instagram and other platforms you see people do loads of things throughout quarantine, but I
mm.
think that pressure to do something is not really needed. But again, if you want to stay productive and do something, definitely pick up a hobby. Sorry, like for me, I used to do art ages ago. I did it for my GCSE as well, and only recently I started drawing again, and I hadn't done it in like 3 years, 3 4 years. So that was something that I started doing. And recently I started up putting more content on Instagram and YouTube as well. Like you said, you might as well go ahead and create a YouTube channel. A lot of people say like, "Oh, I want to create a YouTube channel. I want to do this. I want to do that." This is the perfect time for you to do it. Um, anything you can start. You can start up a business if you wanted to. I've seen a lot of people start up their small businesses right now, whether it's baking stuff, whether it's manufacturing clothes, even like delivery companies as well, like for meat. I saw that pop up as well recently. Um, and just yesterday we were looking on Instagram and people like doing home deliveries for burgers and fries and stuff like that. So stuff like that is, there's an opportunity to do whatever you want really.
I mean, like as you said, with like making like a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
If you wanted to make a YouTube channel now, I think it is perfect, as you said, because now you can learn editing skills.
Yeah,
You
for
have
sure.
all those 3 hours to like learn how to do editing and stuff.
Mhm.
If you have a laptop, then you can do editing. Even
100%.
other hobbies like running, you know, running is quite a big hobby. I've seen people on YouTube document 1 year of running and their results.
Mhm.
So maybe like running could be like something that people start. And as you said,
Sure.
art. A lot of people might not know they're even good at drawing, and then
Yeah,
once that pen hits the paper, they might say, "Wow, I'm actually okay at drawing." And
yeah,
maybe if quarantine wasn't here, they might have never knew that.
yeah.
So it is a blessing in disguise, but I think it's just the way you look at it.
Yeah, true, true. I guess you gotta have a positive outlook on life, because if you were just down and like keep watching the news and seeing that this is not gonna end anytime soon, or going months after months just like sitting there wallowing in your own like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I think the best thing you can do for yourself is just stay positive and just do something with your time. It could be anything, anything at all. And as far as the running goes, maybe not right now because the weather is pretty crazy.
mhm.
But I think once the weather clears up, definitely going for more walks and running and stuff, that'd be really good, man, for sure.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of benefits in there if you
Yeah, yeah,
just do a bit of research. Yeah.
100%. Checking on one of these questions. There was a really good question that was someone put up. They were
Sure.
asking about good character and the value of forgiveness.
Do you want to start on that?
Yeah, yeah.
What was like the exact question?
It was just it was asking. It just says having good character and the value of forgiveness as a topic to talk about.
Okay.
So I think having good character, um, well, it's just how you treat other people, isn't it? When you say that's what having a good character is. It's more than that, actually. It's having
Yeah.
how you treat people, how you present yourself, how you think, how you act, the things you do. That all goes to having a good character, wouldn't you say?
I'd say. Yeah, I'd say the same. Of treating people with respect,
Yeah.
being kind to others,
Mhm.
helping others out, showing like leadership and
Yeah.
things like that.
I think the way to progress as a society is through having good character. You know, if everyone supported each other and you had that, everyone had that mindset of, you know what, we're here for a short time, but we might as well, help each other. You know, we can progress really well as a society. Is when people have bad character, where they treat other people bad, you know what I mean? And it's like a more of an ignorant kind of side of them. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah, for
what
sure. Hating and things like that doesn't get you anywhere. I
no,
think
no,
the only way to build up is like to support each other.
yeah, yeah,
And people don't I think people don't recognize like the import like how much like one comment on like someone's post like actually can boost them up.
mhm,
Like even if like someone you don't even know comments on like one of your gym posts, oh, you're looking in really good shape.
yeah,
Just that one comment can like really boost
yeah,
someone up. So I think it's small things like that.
for
There's
sure.
no way like you're gonna progress like hating on people or
No, true.
negative comments.
I think sometimes we just need that bit of positivity, and if you can give out positivity, at least make someone's day. You know, that's everything, man. Trust me.
It's definitely contagious.
Yeah, trust me. The more positive you think, and the more positive people you surround yourself with, you know,
Yeah.
you're bound to be positive, and you know what I mean.
Oh, for
It
sure.
is. The second point would be the value of forgiveness.
See, with forgiveness, I feel like um, this is how I feel about it sometimes. If someone does it once, I feel like they'll do it again. So I think it is good to forgive, but I feel like there's a certain point where if you just keep letting people do what they want, they're just gonna eventually walk over you. So like, I'd say my principle is like forgive, but don't forget. Like, so what I mean by that is like I would forgive the person,
Mhm.
sure, but I would always keep in my mind what they've done. So like if I feel like we're talking and something might happen again, I just have to say, you know what? I just want to cut my ties with you because I don't feel comfortable about this, but we
Yeah,
have no bad blood. Do you understand what
I feel
I'm
you. I feel you.
saying?
I might differ a little bit, but forgiveness, right? If someone has done you wrong, right? The reason why you forgive is not just for them, but it's for yourself as well. It's just to let you not be attached to that. Someone does you wrong, you don't want to keep thinking about that. Forgiving them allows you to move on, right? But an important thing that you said just then was about forgetting, right? Never forget. The reason why I agree with that is because when people do you wrong, you gotta learn from that, isn't it? You gotta see every situation as an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity for you to learn. If you hadn't gone through a certain situation like someone has done you wrong, you wouldn't learn not to trust people in that same way. Obviously, by all means, trust people, but you're going to be more wary going forward, isn't it? It's,
Yeah,
it's just to protect yourself. You got to learn from situations like that. But I think forgiveness is a big thing, right? If you don't forgive, you're not going to be able to move on, and that's how I see it. And in terms of cutting ties, I would never say cut complete ties with people. I think it's just for you to move on as well. You might just have, it is what it is. And we'll just leave it at that. We'll be calm, we'll be civil, but not really be that close to that person anymore, really. But forgiveness, I think, is a big thing, and I think a lot of people should forgive more, because when you've got bad blood between people and you have bad relations, it never ends well. I think it just continues to get more and more and more worse. Forgiving people, it helps you move on and it helps them move on as well. I think it's important for sure. What do you think?
yeah, I feel like it's a big topic. A lot of people have different opinions on it and stuff, but
Yeah,
I do agree with most things that you're saying. That like if you don't forgive, I feel just like you're just holding on to something that's like giving you bad
yeah,
energy. Like, and as you said, not forgiving and having bad kinship and ties, it just does nothing good for you.
nah, for sure.
So I'd say we should forgive, but we should be wary about the person,
Yeah,
because I feel like if they've done it once, they may do it again. So you should be wary about that. And
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
I think it's just, as you said, not for them, but for ourselves to
Yeah,
move on
100%.
and grow as a person.
Trust, man. Yeah, I think that was good, man. That was a good response. But yeah, I think
No
a
problem.
lot more people need to have that forgiveness in them, because, like you say, it's going to be hard for you to move on from certain situations.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want any
Yeah,
of that.
100%. Let's check some more questions. Um, Someone asked how to become a positive thinker. Say you you want to be more positive as a person. How would you go about that? What do you think? I think okay, I'll stop actually. I think it's you
Okay.
surrounding yourself with more positive people. We mentioned that before, didn't we? The more positive people you surround yourself with, the more likely you're going to be positive as a person as well. If you're constantly surrounding yourself with bad people or negative people, you're going to be just like that. I think I heard a quote like, if you are surrounded by say millionaires, right, 5 millionaires, you are eventually going to be the sixth millionaire or something to
Mm.
that effect. It
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
it's basically what it is like the people you surround yourself with, you're going to mimic. You're going to be more like them. So I think it's important to kind of have good relations with people who are more positive as people, and just surround yourself with good people. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, you are who you surround yourself with, right? You know, I feel like yeah, we should definitely surround ourselves with people who are on the same path as us and are positive thinkers, because then we'll start to see the good in life. And I'd say another thing to be a positive thinker is to always look on the bright side of things.
Yeah,
Like
true.
for example, you might like be with a group of friends and you want to go to a shisha bar, but for some reason, that shisha bar, like you weren't granted access because you didn't have ID. Now a lot of people might think, oh, I wasn't allowed to go to the shisha bar and have fun with my friends. Negative. What happens if someone got killed in that bar? I
Mm.
think people need to kind of adopt that mindset. Is like not always think about the negative, but just think about like the positive outcomes that could have happened.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
you didn't get to enjoy time with your friends,
Mm.
but that place that you wanted to go enjoy time with your friends, a bomb might have went off. So be grateful that you weren't able to go there.
Yeah, yeah,
I know it's a bit extreme, but there's lots of
yeah.
like examples like that.
Yeah, so I think just looking on the positive side of things, like not taking certain situation. Like for me, actually, a perfect example. I recently passed my driving test, alhamdulillah.
Hmm.
Well, not recently, but in October time. But before I went into my driving exam, sorry, I told myself, you know what, I'm not gonna be unhappy if I don't pass. You know what I mean? Because imagine I had passed, right, and I had a car and I drove like say a week later and I ended up crashing. By me, if I hadn't passed, right, I would have saved myself from a car crash, potentially fatal. So that's the way I saw it. Is like if I didn't pass, I'll be fine. Alhamdulillah, because Allah would have saved me from, for example, a car crash later on down the road. And if I had passed, then alhamdulillah, you know what I mean? So that's two ways of looking at it. You know what I mean? If I had failed, then you know what, it is what it is. And if I had passed, then alhamdulillah.
Oh yeah, I definitely understand that point. It's always looking at like what could have happened and things like that. Because if you just like look at everything negative, oh, I failed, I didn't go to enjoy time with my friends. I think you feel that instant like that instant. Oh, I wasn't able to feel that joy. But I think if you just sit down and just think about it, oh, actually, I didn't pass. This has given me more time
Yeah,
now to hopefully passing the second time and give me more knowledge and experience compared to if I actually failed the first time, no, passed the first time
mhm,
and only had that much knowledge and
yeah.
experience.
I
So,
think also understanding that if you're going through some bad times, right, there's always going to be good times ahead. And I think it's always looking ahead, thinking like, you know what, this not going to last forever. like for example, this lockdown thing. To be positive, you know what? One day I'm gonna get out of this, and I'm gonna be able to do a lot more. You know, you're not gonna be in this situation forever. So why not just be positive?
Yeah, I
And I know
mean, nothing
it's
in
easy
life.
to say. It's easy to say, "Oh, be positive, be positive." Um, but just if you just look at things more like on a positive note, you live a lot more happier, to be honest, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, don't let your thoughts control your life, I'd say. I
Yeah.
mean, you're definitely right about like thinking positively and having that outlook, because if you just surround yourself with negative thoughts, you're bound to be more
100%.
negative. So I
Um,
think, yeah, carry on, carry on.
yeah, I had someone ask me as well about friendship. Do you feel like if you have good mates, you have to check up on them all the time? Because I don't think you have to check up on people all the time. Because in life, right, you all go your other ways, right? You got things to do. You're quite busy, but doesn't mean that I don't care. Doesn't mean that you don't care about your mates. You know what I mean? You don't have to check up on them. I don't think.
All the time is subjective. What a lot of some I might class all the time as
Yeah.
different. You might class it as different. So okay, what do you class all the time as in
In the
regards to that question?
right, okay. So I think some people like want you to message them like every single day.
No, no.
That's
Look,
too much, man.
that's no, that's unrealistic.
Yeah, yeah. So in that scenario, the person who was asking was thinking, you know what, no, these people want me to message them every single day to kind of you don't have to validate your friendship in that sense. You know what I mean?
I feel like even once a week is a lot.
You think?
Honestly, I feel once once every month or every
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. I feel that like if you check up on the person, maybe have a phone call with them 20, 30 minutes or whatever, or just a few texts. I
Mhm.
feel like once every month or twice every month is all right. I feel like every day or every week, it just gets annoying. It's like you literally just asked me like a week ago how I was. Like not much
Yeah,
has changed. Like not in a rude way, but it's just like I feel like you don't have to check up on everyone all of the time, you know?
yeah,
I
no,
mean, if you're
absolutely.
good friends and you're talking every day, that's like cool. But actually, like checking up, like I feel like sometimes it can be a bit too much, you know?
Yeah, yeah. What about on a mental health like perspective? Like, if you know someone's going through some tough times.
I feel like maybe once a week is all right then,
Hmm.
but I'd like say, oh, when you're free, just let me know. You can call me, and I feel like instead of texting, like calling and talking to a person is better than
It's
just
more real.
texting.
It's more real rather than just messaging, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, if they are like struggling on like a mental health thing, I wouldn't say there's like a time frame where you can keep checking up on them. I'd probably say to them, oh, whenever like you want to talk, just
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
send me a message instead of like saying, oh, next Monday I'll check, next Tuesday
Yeah.
I'll check. Just say
It
like,
kind
oh,
of makes it you feel forced. It has to be more natural, eh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just say, oh, whenever you're free, just shoot me a message.
Yeah, no, that's a good approach, man. I get that. I get that. I
That's
think
what I feel.
some people have different opinions, eh? But I think if you're mates with somebody, if you're quite close with somebody, you don't have to message them all the time. And I agree with you there. Once a week or every once in a while. I
Mm,
mean, it's not like you care less. You're always going to be there, right?
mm,
But I think as you get older, you kind of get busier. You don't have that much time, or you'd rather spend that time with family, or what I mean, like on new business ventures or whatever it may be, or if you're busy with work.
mm. I mean, you don't really need to like check up on everyone, all the
Yeah.
time. You've got your own stuff to worry about. I
No,
don't
100%.
think you can like live life just, thinking about others. It's good to check up on people and see how they're doing, but I feel like doing it excessively is it's just not worth it, really.
Yeah, it's a bit much sometimes. It can be, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I might as well jump on to some more questions, man.
No problem, no problem.
Let's see. I had someone talk about, what do you think of this whole pandemic situation?
What do I think about this whole pandemic situation?
A lot of people they think that it's all planned, that the government has a massive part to play in it, which I think it is true in a way, in the sense that how they handled the situation and how they are handling it right now.
If you look back from last March till now,
Yeah,
you would think we would be in such a better place.
yeah, for sure,
We're basically back to square one.
hundred
And I
percent.
think people, they don't care until it happens to them or a family member. You know, there's a YouTuber that I watch, is a traveler. He like travels all the world. He's in Tanzania now.
Mm,
Nobody wears masks. They
yeah,
don't even test for COVID. And you just think you're living in a world like like a country where like COVID is happening, and like in other countries it's not even happening.
mm,
It's crazy to think. And about the government planning it, I honestly, I don't even pay attention to that. I don't really like paying attention to those things because I feel
yeah,
like it brainwashes people. If there are rules and regulations, unfortunately, you've got to follow them whether you don't like it or not.
yeah.
I feel like we should be in such a better place compared to last year, but
Considering how long we were in lockdown for and how many lockdowns we've done so far, we're in the third lockdown. You'd think it'd have some effect. You know what I mean?
as I said, I think um, people don't care until it happens to them or a
Yeah,
family member.
for sure. Yeah, because my whole family got COVID not too long ago actually as well, and it became a whole lot more real. Since we had the symptoms, we tested positive. Granted, it was like only a week, and I got quite better after that. But it's quite real once you get it, and I think a lot of people don't understand that, how bad it actually is for some people. Um, my uncles are both doctors as well, so they get to see it firsthand and how much it's affecting people. And especially now, considering it's been a year, you start to know a lot more people who've actually died from the virus. It is quite harsh, and the reality is there is a virus out there, and it is killing people, and you got to be more understanding, I guess, in a way. But
Yeah,
one thing for sure is that the government hasn't handled it the best at all. Considering, yes, like you said, it's been a year, and you'd think we'd have some improvement. Considering how like other
but
countries have made massive improvements, where
hmm,
they're able to go out, they're able to socialize again, do stuff like actually get back to the gym, for example, in our scenario, or for you if you're going back to the Jiu Jitsu,
hmm.
training again. A lot of people can do that in other countries, but it feels like we're just getting worse and worse and worse as the days go on. Um, but you know, wish we had a better government, but for now we just got to deal with it. Eh?
I feel like our public does not care. I mean, me and you both work at supermarket, right? You
Yeah.
still work at,
I still
you
look
know,
out there. Still, I mean,
yeah.
I have no choice.
I I'm assigned to like the door sometimes, and people come in, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
I understand.
could you wear a mask, please? And like the way some people say I'm exempt, like you can just tell, like
You
they're
can
not.
tell they're not exempt at all, man. I know what you mean.
And then there's like people coming in groups of 4 and 5, and like it's only one person from one
Yeah.
household, and they're like, oh, we'll split up when we go in the shop, and then a minute later you see them all together. I just think people complain about the lockdown and stuff, but yet the same people which are complaining about it are the ones that are contributing to it the most,
Yeah, I feel
And
you.
as you said, yeah,
I feel you there. I said, yeah,
yeah. When you look at other countries, Australia, New Zealand, you'd go there. Okay, they're still wearing face masks, but life is basically back to normal.
true. Yeah.
And I feel like because their government is actually, they know how to take care of it. The people actually listen,
Hmm,
and the rules they've put in place are actually applicable, you know.
true.
But I feel like people here, they just don't care until it
Yeah.
happens to one of them.
I only work on the weekends, so Saturday and Sunday, and that's like the two busiest days. So it comes to points where in the aisles it is absolutely rammed, just full of people. Like there's so many people in the aisles, and it's hard for us to, as workers, to work and get the stock on the shelves. You know, there needs to be some sort of like a control. You know what I mean? Especially in supermarkets. The amount of people that come in day out, it's insane, to be honest. If you looked at it without the face masks, you'd think that this was a normal day.
Oh yeah.
Christmas time.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't even know that it was a pandemic happening outside.
I mean, they say it's lockdown, but when you start driving and you see the traffic, you just, what? Like, why are so
Yeah,
many like people out? And it's people just doing pointless things, you know.
yeah,
So, and even people complain about waiting in line. Like, that's the
yeah,
type of society we have. We can't even wait 10 minutes to go and shopping just so for the safety of others.
exactly. Do you think it's a lack of enforcement though from the government? So for the police, for example,
Say that again. What do you mean?
do you think it's a lack of enforcement? Like
No,
so
I
many
feel
people
like
on
it's
the roads and not no one checking up where you're going, what you're doing, and then you know what I mean? Wouldn't that make it more? I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Would it be
well,
better
that
for the lockdown? Yeah,
um but there's only so much police, is there, you know, to go all around and have a look. So I feel like it might be a waste of resources when other things like might
yeah,
be happening. But I don't know. I mean, it is. You know what? It's such like a broad like subject. I feel like you have to have like a whole Zoom call just to like talk about the
yeah,
issues and things which are going on about it. But
yeah. I feel you. I feel you.
I feel like people just need to take it more seriously. You know.
Mhm. I guess in the meantime, until things get better, I guess.
Yeah,
But one thing for
definitely.
sure is that the cases are starting to drop now, which I guess is a good sign. And in terms of vaccinations, a lot more people are getting vaccinated now. So
Mhm.
that's something to look forward to now. At least something's being done, and hopefully, you know, we get to a point where things are marginally better. We can get to a point where it's like similar to New Zealand and Australia. Eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be quite a while until things go back to
Yeah,
that because I feel like when the cases drop, they just go back up because people think like, oh, everything's back to normal now.
hmm
But honestly, I don't even watch the news, so I don't even know what's going on half the time because
yeah.
I feel like,
I think relying too much on the news isn't good for anyone. Because even recently, some of the stories just seem a bit stupid. Especially like smaller news outlets. You don't know who to trust. You don't know if you know. To be fair, it just messes you up a bit more. Just watching the news day in day out. Uh,
yeah,
you'd rather just accept it for what it is and just move on. Do something productive, like we talked about before. One
yeah.
one thing I realized is that, I didn't know you speak Spanish, man.
Nah, honestly, I don't fully, but I you know, I know a couple basics. But sometimes I do use a translator to put sentences together.
Ah, okay.
And actually, if you go back to what we were saying, learn the language as
Yeah,
well. You can
yeah,
learn the language, yeah, you know.
yeah.
So
Especially me.
lockdown, man.
We're both Pakistani, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
for me, I've lost touch with that culture aspect, so I don't really speak much Punjabi, right?
okay.
Um, and it kind of sometimes when you're talking to people back home in Pakistan and trying to communicate with them, you kind of feel bad because this is your culture after all. You should be able to speak language. So for people like me who are in my situation, you need to start getting back on that Punjabi again, man.
I
Trust me.
mean, well, if that's your situation, I mean, just 30 minutes to an hour a day, man. You
Yeah,
just do it. I mean,
commit to
you
speaking.
got so much time at home, so
Yeah,
I
100%.
mean, yeah, like there's so much things. Like even I'm starting soon to like I want to learn about the stock market and
Yeah,
stocks and invest in that. I won't be able to do that if quarantine wasn't here, you know.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. You started a YouTube channel as well. What kind of content are you gonna be putting out?
But man, um, basically just this kind of how we are talking, just discussing topics. I mean, I'll be in my car. I
Yeah,
just set the phone up, just talking about things, you
talk about
know.
life. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm growing my hair again, When
Yeah.
that gets on, I talk about hair care,
Yeah.
maybe beard care. Um, I just see how it goes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not expecting like, oh,
No, not at
getting.
all.
Sorry.
It's not at all. You're not really expecting a lot of people. It's more of like an outlet for you to do something.
Yeah, something, another hobby.
Sure. Exactly. I think when people think, you know what, I want to start something, the reason why they fall short and they never do it is because they think, you know what, but what are other people going to think of it? What if I don't succeed? You know, it's always the people, other people's opinions come into it, and you get put off doing it. That's especially for me in my scenario. When I first wanted to start YouTube, I was thinking, you know what, I'm not sure because I don't really know how people are going to perceive it. I don't really know what people are going to be thinking about what I'm putting out. Are they going to like it? You know what I mean? But I think is once you forget all that stuff and you do it for yourself, you truly do it for yourself, and you have a reason as to why you're doing it. But for you, I think it's like more helping people, isn't it? Whether it be
Yeah, yeah,
or beard care or just health or just talking about stuff like what we're talking about now, mental health. You know, we were talking about what was it, good character and forgiveness and stuff. You know,
yeah. I mean, like, I think YouTube is one of the biggest outlets there in the world. I think it's the second. I'm not sure, but if you can just voice your opinion and help
Mhm.
even five people,
Yeah, it's
that.
surprising. It's surprising how many people relate to you as well. You
Oh
can
yeah,
say anything, and you think, you know what? Do people really care? And then once you put it out there, a lot of people, relate to you. You'd be surprised. Trust me.
yeah. I think it's definitely something I would like to start. Um, I'll be honest. The only reason I haven't started it because I just feel like I'm looking like a bit messy right now. So I'm probably gonna might call one of the barbers to come home and just give me like a nice beard line up and stuff. Just like look.
Getting a fresh cut is proper underrated, man. You know what I mean? It makes you feel so
Yeah.
more confident.
If I'm gonna be talking to many people, I want to
Yeah,
like look my best, and I think your appearance says a lot about you.
true.
I
You're
think.
more confident as well, man. That's the main thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm.
I mean, I feel sorry for the barbers who are closed now. But
To be honest, they make a lot more money during lockdown, coming to people's houses. If you think about the lockdown prices they're charging,
yeah,
like my barber charges about what £12 normally, and in COVID he's charging about £20 or £25, man. So he's making a decent profit.
yeah, but I still think they don't feel the same though as like when they're working in their own environment.
Yeah, and obviously
They
it's going to be
feel
different.
different when they come to people's houses.
True, because I think the last thing you want to do is go to like a bunch of randomers' houses. Plus, the risk of getting a fine is quite high as well. I think the fines
And
right now, five
and
hundred
even
pounds.
contracting COVID.
Yeah, that's true. So you're putting yourself at risk too. I think
Yeah,
for all the small businesses, man, because I know a lot of businesses have gone bust recently, and it's sad to see because people have put their heart and soul into this, for years.
yeah,
All for it to end right now, it's not the best, man. It's hard to see. And that's why I'm always pushing for people to support small businesses. Like go less to a Tesco, for example, and go to more of a corner shop. You'd rather spend in a corner shop and give money back to the community than a big local supermarket like Tesco. I know we both work in big supermarkets, but you know what I mean. Just to give back to the community.
yeah. I mean, Sainsbury's or Tesco will never go bust, but
Yeah, exactly.
shop, a
So you'd
corner
rather,
shop
you'd rather support
closed
people like the
down.
corner shop.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
100%, man, 100%.
Those
Plus, you
small
put your money back
actions,
into the community, man. That's all you can do, huh?
definitely, do a
Um,
lot for people.
yeah, for sure. And I heard a lot of people saying that, you know what, after his whole pandemic situation, they're gonna move countries, like completely relocate. And I don't actually don't blame them that much, especially how the government has handled everything and how bad the economy is gonna be after this whole situation.
Even before all this happened,
Yeah,
I would love to move to a different country.
you kept saying
Uh,
Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil. I mean, people talk about third world, but I'd probably be more happier in
Mhm.
third world than here. Honestly, I would because I'm not materialistic. Like
Yeah.
I could live in like a shed and still be happy, or like a small house. Like materialistic things do not really bother
What is it
me.
about the country that makes you, you know, quite drawn to it?
Um, do you know what? I wouldn't say it's specifically that country.
Mhm.
I would say it's the region, South America.
Okay.
There's a YouTuber that I watch and he travels around there and I saw the culture. It looks really cool, but you can't tell until you actually go there.
Yeah.
And I
True.
feel like all the people I know, they go to the same places: Spain, Germany, France, blah blah blah. I wouldn't try something new. I
Mm.
would say, oh, I've been Peru, Paraguay, Argentina, Brazil, blah 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 blah. And I just want to see how it is for myself, you know.
Yeah.
Brazil, Jiu Jitsu, one of the originators, so
Right.
that's definitely one strong point. Good weather, culture seems cool, but as I said, I don't fully know until I've actually been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Um,
do you have any country in mind that you'd like to go to
you know
when you're
what?
older?
I was looking recently, and I think Canada would be nice, man. Canada looks like one of the
Mm.
best places, man. Trust me. Especially all the different areas as well. It just seems like a proper vibe, man. Not gonna lie. Canada or Australia. Somewhere where it's not too crazy, and somewhere where it's just like I don't know. It just seems more appealing to me.
Mm. I've heard a lot of good things about Australia and Canada. Like in Canada, I think the government really care about, people.
Yeah, for sure. I think they do. In terms of education, the Canada has some good education there, man. They don't rush you into things. I think, especially for kids. Think about how our education system is. As soon as you finish from GCSEs, they expect you to choose your subjects for the future, right? So whether
Mm.
that be maths related or science related, and as soon as you finish your A levels, you're going to choose straight away what kind of career you're going to go into. And I was talking about this with somebody, and think how crazy it is. Imagine at this age, you don't really know what you want to do, but in Canada, it gives you the option to try numerous stuff, and then you can eventually decide on what you want to do, like truly want to do. You'll have more of an idea of what you want to go into.
Mm.
So I think the education is a lot better in other countries.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about the education of other countries, but for this country, I mean, like, as soon as you finish high school, it's
Yeah,
college, then it's uni. It's like there's no break, you know?
yeah, no time to figure out what you want to do, and it leads to
feel
just feeling lost as well. A lot of people do feel lost in life because they feel like they have to make these decisions really quickly.
I feel like social media plays a part in that. When you
Yeah,
see people at
100%.
18, 19 going to university or whatever, doing a course, you're like, shouldn't I be going?
Yeah,
Or shouldn't I be doing a course?
yeah,
I think gap years are underrated. I think that really
yeah,
is good for people.
for
Gives
sure.
them a sense of what they should do.
Not even just that. I think the university route isn't for everyone. I think there's a lot more options now for you to go into different things. There's like apprenticeships. You don't even have to do apprenticeship. You can just, if you are interested in a certain area of, I don't know, a certain field, you can easily go into that and do really well for yourself. You don't have to go through university. And even nowadays, a lot of people don't really look for that. They look more for experience. They don't really look for a degree. So if I came out of a university with a degree, they take somebody with more experience over me. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, like as you were saying, like the niches and like things that you're interested in, like
Mhm.
someone could like make a YouTube channel and go traveling the world and do really well with that and
Yeah.
just live off YouTube. Someone who's really into the gym could
Mhm.
become a personal trainer. Someone who's got a good mind and knows clothing could create a clothing brand and they could live off that.
For
But I
sure.
feel like schools don't tell you that. I
No.
think they're like, you have to go college, then you have to go university.
It's kind of left for you to decide, like figure out, and I don't think that's right. I think they need to do more, just to help us, move forward in life, rather than just throwing us in the deep end, expecting us to know exactly what we're going to do. There needs to be that transition period, really. I think, especially in education. Um, but not everyone's the same. Not everyone wants to do the same things. Everyone's
Yeah,
different. Imagine we had like 100 doctors, like, you know, going into, it's just crazy. You know, everyone has a different things they want to do.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's what makes everyone unique. Not everyone's the same. Everyone wants to do something.
true, man.
So
100%.
that's a good thing, I guess. Not everyone's the
Yeah.
same.
So what do you think you're going to be doing in the future then, moving forward? Because I know you're doing like what, sports rehabilitation now.
Hopefully, working as a clinician or in a clinic,
Hmm.
gaining experience.
Hmm.
But honestly, I'm not.
You're
My
not too
vision
sure
isn't
now.
there yet. Not 100%. I think I'm just going to take it by the year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're not
See where
intertwining that with jiu-jitsu?
Um, I definitely see myself doing it, like
Yeah,
just until I'm gone,
yeah,
as long as I can. As far as maybe becoming an instructor and opening my own school, that just depends on like how fast I can progress and things like that.
yeah,
Because with COVID, it's
yeah.
definitely slowed it down.
Talk me through the process and like the leveling up system in jiu-jitsu.
So there's 5 belts. It goes white belt,
Yeah.
then blue belt, purple, brown, black.
Hmm.
To get from one belt to another, it takes quite some time. I mean, from white to blue can range from anywhere 1 year between 3 or 4 years. This is not to like, how do I say it in a polite way?
It's a, what do you say?
Not to like, um, say anything bad about any other sports like karate or anything, but I
Right.
feel like karate and taekwondo belts are kind of like an attendance thing. Like you get a belt after like 4 or 5 months of coming.
Ah, okay.
In jiu-jitsu, like
You've got
if
to earn,
you're again, sorry,
you've got to earn that belt in jiu-jitsu.
yeah, you've got to earn that belt. Like if you're going against a higher belt, like you've got to be doing like decently well, putting up a fight against them. If you do competitions, you've got to be doing like fairly well, showcasing your skills. So 5 belts, white to black,
Yeah.
and depending on the person's consistency, they're willing to learn. If they're actually focused in lessons and not on their phone,
Yeah.
then they can progress quite quick. But jiu-jitsu is one of those sports where I think everyone should at least try it once, and then they'll see how much they can learn from one lesson. Because jiu-jitsu is, I think, the definition of grit. Like a lot of people will quit, man, because
Yeah.
they don't see themselves progressing fast enough. I mean, COVID, I'm sure people have quit. They're just like, you know what, COVID's came. This is not for me.
Yeah.
And I understand that things come in the way, but I think everyone should at least try it once in their life just to see. Because I don't think I can explain the feeling of how it is and what you learn.
So I guess it builds up a level of discipline, doesn't it? Being able to stick with it, even though it's so hard to actually level up in them belts in the belt system.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the reward is definitely worth it. But it's if people are actually willing to like go through that mud,
Yeah.
it's definitely 100%. It's definitely
What's
worth
the
it.
advice you'd give them for someone who just wants to start up? Like they've had no jiu-jitsu knowledge, or anything like that. They just want to get started. What would you give? What advice would you give?
A black belt was once a white belt, and you can be that white belt.
Yeah.
What the hardest thing about jiu-jitsu is walking through those doors. Once you walk through those doors and you sign up that membership, then it's yours. I think just start, like, honestly, just
Yeah.
like, I know that sounds cliche or so vague, but honestly, just go on Google, type up local jiu-jitsu schools, or even message me,
Yeah.
and just start. I feel like if you really want to start something, nothing will stop you. It doesn't matter if you're overweight, if you're underweight, you've got no experience in martial arts.
Yeah.
Just start. I didn't have any experience in martial arts. I'm not like the fittest, but I'm still there. Well, when I was progressing well. So don't let anything hold you back, man. Just go. And you know, would you say anything about people who are like a bit scared to go to the gym without
Um,
knowing any knowledge? What
like,
would you say?
exactly what you just said. Starting is the main thing, right? You got to really understand why you want to do it and why you want to go to the gym or even jiu-jitsu. When you find out your why, it becomes a whole lot more easier to actually to go ahead and do it. And it just takes you, you know, plucking up that courage to take the first step to actually get into the gym and make a membership. And in your case, just going to the dojo and starting up. It's that first step that really creates that chain reaction. And trust me, you'll love it. In terms of gym, a lot of people do get that anxiety. They think that they feel like they don't fit in the gym. And that's not the case at all. We're all there to better ourselves. We're all there to make improvements in our lives, right? Ain't no one going to be looking at you some type of way. Look, we're all here. We all start somewhere, and trust me, you're going to enjoy it a lot. And I think that the same could be said for jiu-jitsu or anything as well. Any physical,
Anything, yeah.
yeah,
Doesn't have to relate to jiu-jitsu. It
yeah,
can be anything.
true.
Boxing, whatever.
Yeah. So the main point being that you just need to get started, and trust me, you'll be a lot more happier. And same with YouTube. Just start, put out a video, and if you mess up, if you, I don't know, you don't feel as confident or whatever, forget that. At least you went ahead and did it. Um, you know, and don't take notice of what people say. And that's the main thing. You're doing it for yourself.
I think the longer you leave it, the um
The more you'll regret it, I think, in the long run.
yeah, I think just get started, man. Stop delaying.
And
And
also, it's
just
never too late.
yeah, there's people in their 40s, 30s who have started jiu-jitsu and now they're black belts. I started when I was 19. I'm 21 now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm definitely blessed to have started
That's amazing.
early.
Do you see yourself doing a lot more competitions in the future then?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. When I get back and I'm able to build up my base,
Yeah,
6 or 7 months of training, then I feel like I'll be able to get back into it properly
that's mad, man.
and do a few competitions, even some across the world, hopefully, if they're available. Spain.
I rate that, man. I rate that.
Yeah, I mean, it's my hobby, isn't it? So,
Mhm. What are the biggest competitions that are there in the world? Like for me, who doesn't know much about jiu-jitsu, are there certain types of competitions that are quite big?
yeah, there's two. There's the IBJJF, which is the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation.
Mhm.
That's like held in different parts of the world, and that's where
Yeah,
like all the people come together. And there's like leaderboards in weights and medals and stuff like that.
that's mad, man. That's amazing.
I can't remember the other one, but IBJJF is like the main one. There's like local tournaments which I do like,
Yeah,
but IBJJF is more like an international level when you've
yeah.
you like solidifying your name and you feel like you're ready to compete against that
Are
level.
these like the best of the best?
I wouldn't say the best of the best, but I'd say people who are putting all their time into it and want to face good competition and see how they fare up against. And I think just the challenge overall.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. I get that. That's
Because I
really
know very good people that um, compete locally.
yeah.
So they do locally and the IBJJF. So it's just how you feel.
Yeah,
If
fair
you
enough.
like traveling, it's yeah.
What countries are these in? Like just different countries.
Yeah, most of them are America, some are Brazil, some can be Spain, sometimes it's Portugal. So there's many different countries. It's not just subjected to one country.
Yeah. Nah, I rate that. That's amazing, man. Nah, that's good. Yeah, I think we've pretty much hit all the points we wanted today. But yeah, it was good, man.
No, no problem, man. I enjoyed that. That was
Right.
a good talk. Hopefully, maybe
Yeah.
people can learn from it,
It
and
was good
maybe.
catching up. I've not talked to you, like I said, in a long time since college. It's been ages, man.
Well, we've texted, but not like.
It's different when you had that face to face interaction.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Nah,
Have you